Hello, welcome. I mentioned this in my last video. I did a live stream of it last night, but I'm going to re-record this just to make it a little bit more succinct. Today I'm doing a challenge that existed before By Blood Alone, but I haven't seen anybody do it since By Blood Alone came out, and there's been some naval rebalance in By Blood Alone, especially when it comes to carriers. And it's called the Royal Navy Challenge. It is a challenge to see how little IC you can spend to beat the starting Royal Navy at the beginning of the game. So what I've done is I've made a save at this point. All of these ships for the French are fully trained, which means you can just refit them into anything you want and then immediately turn around and fight the British. This will allow you to try like any combination of ships you want really quickly. So the challenge here is quite simple. You need to beat the starting British fleet, fully trained with Andrew Cunningham in charge, and that's a little bit of added difficulty because he is bold, with as little IC spent as possible. Now I did do a little bit of math. If you were to build this fleet from scratch, it would cost 545,000 IC. So I'm going to put some rankings here. There's no prizes for these. Basically just guidelines for how well you've succeeded. So 400,000 IC is bronze, 325,000 IC is silver, 275,000 is gold, and 230,000 is platinum, if you can do it in less than that. The best I did on stream last night was 225,000, just under 225,000. To put into perspective how much IC this is, it would take you 282 dockyard years to produce this. And what do I mean by dockyard years? I mean that's the output of a dockyard in 1 year. Even the platinum level to produce in 4 years is 40 dockyards. That's a lot of IC. So let's go over the rules. Well, first off, you can't touch the British. They are going to have full fleet in being. They have full operational integrity. You can use any doctrine you want. You can use any spirits you want. The British Navy itself is set to never repair, always engage. And for added difficulty, I have maximized their carriers. They are using the most number of naval bombers that they possibly can. This is going to be a real challenge just for you to get under bronze, unless you do a carrier base build. And that's what I did. So let's load up my first attempt. I went a little conservative with my first attempt. And you're going to have to track your IC costs from building from scratch. And this was mine. This is my fleet that I'm going to use. 17 carriers, 10 of which are just converted cruiser hulls. I am counting the full cost of building those. 1 super heavy battleship, 7 battlecruisers, 8 destroyers. Let's take a look at them. 274,000 IC. So basic carrier. I didn't go for dual purpose battery 3s just to save a little IC. I only went for engine 1s, again to save IC. Speed actually does nothing on carriers anyways, other than let it move outside of combat. Inside of combat, they should never get shot at, so speed doesn't matter, because it has no impact on naval strikes. On top of that, I'm using these converted cruiser hulls. 1 hangar space, nothing else. These guys exist just to allow us to use more naval bomber air wings. That's it. I have a single super heavy battleship. This is an AA tank, and honestly, it's only here because chat made me. I have this 1936 battlecruiser hull, which is again just AA and speed tanking. And then I've got a whole bunch of 1940 destroyers. Why? They have the most HP per IC spent. Simple as that. And I gave them a level 3 battery just to try and kill some screens, but realistically, I could have gotten away with a light battery. We are allowed to use an admiral. Luckily, the French do start with one. Oh, and every time you load up, don't forget to turn off AI. So for doctrines, I'm using base strike because I'm going for a carrier build. Night fighting, which is just the best one. I'm using ace effectiveness because centralized control doesn't do anything. And I don't have the British carrier night fighting. No Navy command and no ship designers. Those aren't allowed either. So this is the first design. We're going to set our fleet to do not repair, always engage. Our admiral has shown up. If you type in no CB, this allows you to declare war without a war goal. So with the AI off and war declared, let's see how this battle goes. So to start off with, the game thinks we're going to lose hard, which means you have to be on always engage, otherwise your fleet would just instantly retreat. So let's see how this goes. First things first, we are basically instantly one-shotting their carriers. And because of that, if we look at our carriers from top down, we still have a ton that are at full effectiveness. We've lost 1 of our 7 1940 hulls, which means we have 6 times 8, which is 48 air wings operating, or 480 naval bombers. And because of this, we are just going to wipe the floor with the rest of the British fleet. It is not even going to be an issue. And if we hover over the naval bombers, we're just going to see the damage just start to rack up as they just annihilate all of the screens. So this is a victory. Now there is a re-engage that's going to happen. That's fine. We're going to let that happen. The British now no longer have a fleet. Why did this succeed so hard? Look at the sheer amount of damage. Each one of these naval bombers is one carrier. They are doing so much damage that this screen can only show 5 of our carriers worth of damage. So, with that having succeeded so well, I tried again, but this time for the Platinum. So for the Platinum one, took out a converted cruiser, we took out the Super Heavy, we took out a battle cruiser, and we took out 24 destroyers. 224,462 IC. I found if you go down to 5 battle cruisers, they die too quickly. You need the 6th. So we reloaded a save, so we have to turn off AI. We're going to let our Admiral show up. We're going to set to patrol, and we are going to no-CB the British. And we have the exact same setup here, other than the fact that we took out one of the converted cruisers, which cost us a single naval bomber air wing. Oh no, instead of having 560 naval bombers to start, we're going to have 550. Oh, I didn't set this to always engage. So before I even clicked on this battle, they lost a carrier. But we did have 7 take damage, my god. Luckily, 4 of them were converted cruiser hulls who don't do anything. So at the end of the day, we still have 3 fully operational 1940 hulls and an additional, the net effect of that is about 2. And now we just have to kill all of their capitals. We got hit by a torpedo because we don't have full screening efficiency. Oh, and there's a storm. So because of our low screening efficiency, we are slowly getting torpedoed, but luckily it doesn't matter. This is the closest this has gone. Damn. But either way, a clear victory. And then we'll let them re-engage and they, instantly killed the rest of the fleet. I don't know if there is a better fleet to do this with than just a stupid amount of carriers. Maybe there is. I'm sure there are other fleets that can do at least gold, but I don't know if there's any other fleet that can do platinum. I don't think it's possible, especially with the buffs to carriers and just how much damage they do now. I don't think it's possible to do this any other way. Anyways, I will put the rules that I followed in the description. I'm also going to make a post on the forum about this, and I'll link to that as well. And then there, if you want to show, what fleets you came up with and how well that did, then be my guest. In that forum post, I'm also going to include the save for this file, so you don't actually have to train up your own fleet. You don't have to train up the British fleet. You have the exact circumstances that I was using. Anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.